Media. Today, I am joined by iconic comedian and actor Tommy Davidson. First and foremost, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm really good, man. Just it's a good morning. I had my coffee. I'm all good, you know.
That's amazing right there. So, what words of encouragement can you give my viewers today? Because I know a lot of people going through like mental health issues, as well as just things in life. So, what words of encouragement can you give those people?
Just concentrate on today. Just concentrate on today. Try your best to see the good in today, because it's the last day we have until tomorrow anyway. I start worrying too much into the future. I start thinking crazy. I start thinking too much about the past. I start thinking crazy. The only time that I can control my thinking is now.
Amen. Thank you for those words of encouragement. So, first and foremost, I personally want to know what inspired you to actually become a comedian as well as jump into film in your earlier days within your career.
I just had an opportunity to not be caught in a kitchen anymore, because I worked in the kitchen so long, so I worked in the kitchen so long. So when I had an opportunity to go and do a little stand-up comedy that I never did before, I went and did it, and they liked me. So for the next 3 months, I kept doing it, and one thing led to the other. Next thing you know, 3 years later, I'm on TV doing what it takes,
So, I know you just said what it takes. Could you give some advice and some tips to people that are actually trying to break into the field? Because I know it's extremely hard with getting a lot of rejections.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the one thing you got to get used to, rejections. Even to this day, I get tremendous amount of, rejections, but you got to learn how to live with them. If you really want to do this, you got to persevere through all that stuff.
Now, I know you're a person of. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I just cut you off. Go ahead.
It's required.
Amen to that. And I understand that, you are a representation of a person of color. Did you ever expect to see a black president in office?
No, never would have imagined in a million years.
What does that mean to you to actually see that happen, as well as a vice president that is a black woman in office?
It gives me a lot of hope. It lets me know we're a lot further than I thought we were. We're a lot further than we are right now.
So I know there was a situation that just happened with the Supreme Court. Do you honestly think that we are progressing as far as we should? Because now we are still fighting the same fight. Me and you both, as well as women, are fighting equality, and just trying to be in those type of rooms and being represented well. Do you think we could do more to actually get these laws approved?
Yeah, there's more that we can do, but we can't do anything about, what the powers that be do. They're in the position to make the decision, right? And what they did was ensure that it was only going to be them that had to do with the decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's only going to be them that's going to make the decision, then they're going to make a decision based on what they think.
Mm-hmm.
And those positions in this world and in this country, they're not easily changed. They're not easily changed because you have to change the power structure to change the results, and the power structure is the same.
So how do we change the power structure? Go ahead.
Through time and effort.
So with women marching as well as Black Lives, or I say Black Lives Matter, but people of color as well as activists marching, it's still the same outcome. What else can we potentially do to just make change? Because it gets frustrating for me as well as women to sit here and say that, we live in a land of free, where technically we don't really live in a land of free, and we are still fighting these type of fights that we've been fighting for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't say for someone else. I can only talk for, And in the midst of things that I cannot change, I change the things that I can within my life. So I work towards getting myself in a better economic economic reality for myself and for my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try my best to be a part of things that elicit change. You know, I try to be a part of, if there's a march that I think is going to make a difference, or if there, you know, I do the things that I think are going to make a difference. But what I'm not going to do is feel a sense of despair
Mm-hmm.
when my people are doing so good. You know, African Americans are doing unbelievable. We're making unbelievable strides, and we're continuing to do so. You know, and we identify with every group in need out here, because every group in need uses us as a model. They even use our laws to hide behind. Affirmative action. Affirmative action isn't even benefiting them in African Americans. It's benefiting Indians and Chinese and Koreans and other minority groups, because all of a sudden it changed from being designed just for us to designed for everybody else. And it was very, very specifically for us because of the 400 years of chattel. The 400 years that they had us chained up and beating our ass. But they went in there and they changed the laws so that everybody else is included. And that's the things that they do. We don't really know the real reason why that stuff got overturned.
Mm-hmm.
But I would guess, my best guess in the world is somebody gonna make some money.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday? And I know that you are hosting an event this week. So tell me a little bit about that as well.
I'm glad it became a federal holiday for people who forgot about it. You know, and that anything that's going to acknowledge our struggle in this country is good. Anything, you know, but a national holiday is not what's going to make the difference for us.
Mm-hmm.
Mobilization and unity is going to make a difference for us. Reconnecting with our continent is going to make a difference for us. Not reconnecting with them as like a phone call, reconnecting with them in business.
Mm-hmm.
We have Africans that live everywhere, in the Caribbean, in Canada. You know, we need to connect with them. You know, it's great that got turned into a holiday and everything, but that's not where our goal is, to have holidays. Our goal is to increase our economic strength. East Indians ain't got no holidays in their country, but they sure do own a lot of Holiday Inns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Vietnamese ain't got no holidays here, but they sure do got a lot of restaurants. Koreans don't got any holidays here, and they sure do own a lot of stuff. Chinese don't have any holidays here, and they own a whole lot of stuff.
And your perspective, do you honestly
own a lot of stuff?
Yes. And
All
your
right.
perspective, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
In your perspective, do you honestly think that we can, with our culture, we can, you know, go back to having that Black Wall Street?
I wouldn't do it so they could know it.
Mm. But, you know, we talk about a unity, and, you know, with them being successful, we all got to come together. So explain what unity means to you, as well as this event that you're hosting July 4th.
Anytime that we get together, we can exchange as many ideas and resources that we want to. So the more we get together, that opportunity presents itself more for us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What happens to it? What happens to a group of us if we're isolated in the inner city in Chicago and no one helps us? Right. So, and that goes for Birmingham, Alabama, or South Bend, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we're isolated in one place, what happens?
Yeah.
They 100% exploit us.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, seriously, we start killing each other because they start putting things in there that brings profit to them, like drugs and guns.
Mm-hmm.
They're like little plantations that they set up. And then we end up going to jail. Those are like little businesses in themselves. Jails are private. If I had a ketchup and mustard company and I got me an account with about 5 jails, shoot, that's a lot of money.
Exactly. So, let's relay off that tough topic for a little bit. Could you share like a funny moment with me, or one of your good memories that you have with one of your favorite comedians that you actually film with, or either that's one of your great friends?
Probably Jim. When Jim in Ace Ventura, I'm supposed to fit into this little leather bag, and he brings the bag to the set, and he goes, "Man, can you fit in this?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't know. I don't know if I can fit it there." Like, man. So I got it, and I said, "I can only fit in here for about 5 minutes." He said, "That's all we need." And the big guy brings and puts me on his back, and then I do that fight with the African warrior.
Did you ever think that In Living Color was going to blow up the way that it did? And do you honestly think that, it would survive in this type of setting now these days where everybody, canceling different cultures or being a little bit sensitive on different topics?
I think that what happened with us, and I don't think it could happen again the way things are now. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
With the internet and that kind of stuff and TikTok and these things, they only need a couple of seconds of something.
Mm-hmm.
Or a guy that never's been on stage can do comedy on the internet and get all these numbers and stuff, get like a lot of likes and whatever that takes.
Mm-hmm.
They get real offers from real advertisers and stuff and make a lot of money off of not that much of stuff. And it doesn't have to be good either. All it has to do is have people that watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. Do you think creativity is lackadaisical now these days?
No, nah. Creativity is the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only consolidated within a few people, a few companies,
mm-hmm.
A few studios or a few streaming places. It's starting to be isolated. It's starting to be available to less.
And my last question for you is, what does it mean to you to actually inspire not just our community, but the world? I know you've been an activist for some time. I know you have, empowered a lot of people as being great leaders. So what does that mean to you in whole?
That I can influence as many people as I can with my ideas and the things that I've learned. Like what Puffy did the other night, he was able to communicate a lot of his experience with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to be able to do those kind of things too.
Mm. And I know you said one more question. I know you got to get ready to get out of here too. So where can my followers actually see your newest stuff, the things that you're doing, hosting and different things of that nature? Where are you located on social media?
I usually go to my IG, which is The Real Tommy Cat.
Okay.
So go there and you'll be directed to every aspect of what I do.
Perfect. And I know that's time's up.
You excited about the show?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you excited about the show?
Yes. I am very excited about the show. I'm excited just, hearing with you, being here, actually, soaking all this information up. One of the things that I did love about the segment is we actually got to talk a little bit more deeply about, our culture, because I do this for our culture. We can do everything for diversity and unity, but, pertaining to our culture, I want us to be successful, and you have given us more of a platform. It's very inspiring to see you, the Wayans brothers, everybody else, J-Lo and, Beyonce and all these other individuals that are minorities that go out there and be representing and representation for us. So it's definitely a pleasure, man.
Man, the pleasure is mine, man.
Yes, sir. So everybody, go check out you know, Tommy Davidson, if you don't know who he is, which everybody should know, y'all can check me out at New Stitch Media or either Fago Franklin III on social media. Thank you again for joining me. I know it's a little short, but I definitely enjoyed the time that you were here.
Thank you, man. Talk
Yes,
to you
sir.
soon.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Have a blessed one. Yes, sir.